What a wonderful.
Hi guys, my name is Raku.
And I'm Mai, and welcome back to our channel.
So today's video is going to be a movie review, a series review or rather. We're going to talk a little bit about the trending series right now called Ultimatum
Yeah, it's part of our fun addition segment.
segment. Uh-huh.
So yeah, basically we're going to give our critique, our thoughts on the entire show, give a dissection of personalities and what maybe we think they would have done better.
Better.
So I don't know, Raquel, what's
I don't
the
know.
show about?
Okay, let me start with that.
Yeah,
The show basically is about young couples. They're quite young girls. Like
very young.
many are below 25.
The age range is 23 to 26.
Yeah, for the guys are a bit older, but the ladies are quite young. So these are couples who probably are having rocky relationships because probably the guy does not want to get married yet for a number of reasons, and the girl does. So she,
I
you
wouldn't
know,
say Rocky.
okay, not sure. Well, come on.
I
if you
just
have to be-
I would say maybe they're not on the same wavelength
They're not
in
on
the
the same
sense
page.
that
Uh-huh.
this person wants this, but this other person's not ready for this.
Yeah, so they give each other, or not, or rather each other, the person with the problem gives the other an ultimatum on it's either you marry me or I move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that's what the show is about.
How many couples are there?
Oh God, how many couples are there? There's
Shanique and Randall,
Shanique and Randall,
Kobe and Madeline, Ray
Jake and
and
April.
Zay,
Ray and Zay,
Jake
Jake
and
and
April,
April,
Nate and
Nate and Lauren.
and then the final
The finals
couple.
got married. What were they called? I don't know them. We don't know them. They will not even impact the show much because they,
They left at the beginning.
yeah, they got engaged too soon. It got too ready for them. They decided, let me marry Hanu.
So first of all, when the show starts, there are like I think two couples that I thought of as serious couples where love actually existed, and that was between Jake and April, and possibly
Shanique. Even
Shanique and
Shanique and
Randall.
Randall, yeah.
Kobe
and Madeline, no.
one side,
Yeah.
and then the ones that I didn't see any love at all was between Nate and Lauren,
Nate
and they're the
Lauren.
two who got engaged.
I don't remember their names, honestly. They're not that
This
memorable,
is so
to be
sad.
honest.
How can you forget that?
Yeah.
But then, so the two couples that got engaged first, those are the ones that I felt like there was the least love between them. So I was actually shocked that the ones who got engaged, because I remember when they showed us the conversation between Lauren and Nate. It was so like it wasn't even friendly.
Yeah.
And this is a couple, this is a couple who love each other. And I remember the guy was so cold or something. And then on the other end, I remember her man, the one who got engaged first, actually said he claims not to be ready to be married, but he feels like, who knows, he may meet someone who he'll be ready to marry. He literally said that, and I was like, whoa. So this one does not actually love his mommy. So the two. And then there's Jake and April. They seem like there's a lot of love.
There's a lot of love there.
Yeah, they're actually emotional about parting ways and all that. And Shanique and Red, I'd say fairly. They also seem like there was love there.
Yeah.
Zay and Ray, I feel like you could
It was
literally
ish.
tell that there was a problem just
There was
from
a
the
big
beginning.
problem.
The girl is the one who gave the ultimatum. So she wanted the guy to like propose. But the conversation, there was no sync.
Exactly.
It seemed like the guy was talking to himself. He's the one who was expressing himself more.
It was strange.
And the fact that he loved the chick. So it was weird that the chick was the one who gave the ultimatum. So their love, itsy bitsy. You could tell
that
that
you've talked about it. I'm like, from the very beginning, it didn't seem like Ray was probably more in love with the idea of getting married than with Zay himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we actually see her later on being able to express herself with another guy. So it's like it's not a she problem, but like a problem between her and Zay, you know. So so let's dive right into the personalities.
We do certain couples and then
We are done with the couples. Now it's
Their
individual
personalities.
personalities.
okay, I think
Kobe.
we started with Kobe. Okay, I thought Kobe is very manipulative. He came into this show with this good guy trope, and he's sweet. And honestly, I was sold from the very first few episodes. I was okay, first episode, who was like, he is sweet and he's everything I would ever want personally for like a husband, and everything anyone would wish for. Why would Madeline even think of not wanting to marry him? Because he's
Yeah.
the one who extended the ultimatum. And I was like, why? Up until he told a certain other couple, because they're supposed to be mixed up and everything. He told a girl from another couple, the ones who got engaged pretty soon. He told her something in the lines of, no, he actually told her, "You're not attractive. I don't think you're attractive," and I was shook.
Honestly, personally, I'd say just right off the bat, I think I'm a good judge of character. This guy just seemed like a goody two shoes to me. Like he wants to seem nice. He's a nice person. He loves his girl. Like too good for
It's for
anybody.
show.
It's for show.
It's like being nice.
So when he did do that, when he called that lady unattractive, like you should never do that. That's
How?
messed up. So when he did that, I was just like, here we go, true colors.
Showing.
He's showing his
And
true colors.
that's not even the worst part. The next day, oh my god, he just added salt to the injury. Said
Yeah, I was
something
never
worse.
sorry.
He said something like he was not interested in her. Oh my god. Okay, even if it's
Like, he
loyalty
didn't
to
take
your
it back.
partner, it doesn't have to get to that point.
He literally had the opportunity to just tell the girl, because that was the issue. He felt like he didn't feel like it was okay for him to be talking to other ladies and getting to know other ladies because he loved his girl, and he felt like he couldn't do different, So that's what he'd have told that girl, not you're unattractive. That was super necessary and
It
super
was
mean.
unnecessary. And
Like, who are you to tell someone they're not attractive?
and I think I was even shocked
so
by
rude.
I was shocked that he didn't think it was bad.
I know.
He genuinely did not think it was bad. He's like, what do you mean? Like, I was just speaking my mind. And I'm like,
And he was telling the truth.
I'm
That's
like,
what he
okay, honestly, this honest brutality thing, it's not nice. It's not cute.
That isn't. That I don't even think that's honest brutality. That's
It's just
being
not.
disrespectful right off the bat.
Exactly. Like, you don't. Honestly, it costs you nothing to keep quiet. Even if
Just
you have.
be nice. Respect someone. Hey,
I mean,
this
how-
is a human being.
Yeah.
And then next,
His person, Madeline.
Madeline. God.
I think she
First
came.
of all, who was the prettiest lady in the show?
The prettiest thing.
Yeah.
According to me,
Yeah.
I think it's Shanique.
Me too. She's
Shanique
really
was
pretty.
pretty gorgeous.
But we're not gonna create like
Yeah.
a Ninina.
And personality wise, okay, we'll get into that a bit later. Okay, Madeline, honestly, I feel like this entire experience for her was like Vegas, like an off from her boyfriend. I feel like she came in
I think
with
she really
like
needed it.
the worst attitude. It's like she hated the boyfriend,
Like the guy would speak and she'd be rolling her eyes or like sort of
or
like
laughing. Or,
yeah, like it's like this person is irritating you. You can't even stand
Yeah.
them to hear them speak or like. So I don't know. She seems like someone who understands herself,
Mhm.
and I think that comes off as confident, and that is attractive to guys, and that's why you see her attracting different guys in the show. But at the same time, she seems like someone who's a lot to handle. Because she's the brutally honest kind.
And
So
she's very
she gives
headstrong.
it to you as it is. So I think that's
Honestly,
modeling.
I feel like that pairing was. I was quite inquisitive about it because it was not a very. It wasn't a match that made sense to me.
I think
as
all of them
such.
didn't make sense.
Because Madeline, honestly, a Madeline in real life would never go for a Colby. Physically
But not
wise,
character wise.
character-wise, Madeline she kind of has a cheerleader effect. And Colby, he's sweet, and I mean, I'm sorry, that's the stereotype that we live in and the society we're living in right now. But Colby is usually the last guy to be picked. People always like the one with the leather jackets and driving like a motorcycle or whatever.
Really?
In the streets or whatever.
Not for me.
I feel like most
I don't
people.
like bad boys. I don't.
But most people are conditioned to like the bad boy toxic type of person, and Colby is the exact opposite of that. And I feel like that's probably what Madeline felt was missing from that relationship. He's
True.
too sweet.
She kept saying that he had this perfect idea of a relationship and everything being nice and shiny, and she wasn't up for that.
Yeah.
She kept saying he needs to come into the real world, see the real world. Anyway, next.
We have April and Jake. Honestly, the most interesting couple so far. they, oh my god, their
They had
relationship
the
was,
hugest twist.
they had the biggest twist,
They
to be
seemed so
honest.
in love at the beginning, only for things to like go haywire.
But then I feel like he was also one of the people who was like, it's like going to this for the first 24 hours, it gave him an out. He just, I think, like, it just hit him. Like, maybe when.
Oh my god, I'm actually good looking and can attract people, and she's not the only girl in this world.
She's not the only girl.
Because he literally 360.
Because I feel, you know,
Suddenly
actually,
he was seeing all these flaws in his girl, in the girl he's been with for 2 years, just because he's met another girl and talked to her for like a day. And he suddenly was aggressive and talking to her in this very like I
It's
was
like
so
he's such a
shocked.
different
I was
person.
so shocked. Like an entirely different
it's like he was
person.
waiting for this moment, constantly waiting. But then the relationship also had cracks, to be honest.
It did.
Because I feel like
Personality
April
is
is also April is a firecracker. Like she said, she's a firecracker. I didn't think
April
it's
is
true.
a firecracker. She says
Yeah.
so many times.
I feel like she's very social, very opinionated.
True.
I also think she has a bit of self-righteousness within her, kind of.
So like she feels like she's here,
Yeah.
and the guy can only do best
Yeah.
with her and all that. So I feel like that may be a bit of a bearing and controlling, because you hear parts where she had told the guy, because the guy kept saying, "You always make it seem like I'm the one on the wrong," you know. And there's the part where the guy grows a stubble, and everyone is like, "Why wouldn't you let him grow a stubble?" So I feel like when you are in a relationship, you should not control your partner to that extent, because that basically implies you can't love them for them. You're trying to change them a lot, or like turn them into this puppet that you want to doll up, you know, you want to condition into what you want, and that's just nah.
Yeah. And I feel like, okay, well, just a minute with April. I also feel like I feel like the controlling aspect also comes from you feeling very comfortable in another person. Not really comfortable, but feeling like this person probably, how can I put it, having your hooks in somebody else. You know, you have a lot of control over them. Yeah, April had
Like
that
we
vibe
say,
with
it's
me.
like she feels like that guy cannot do without him.
Yeah, exactly.
So Shanique and Ringdong,
Shanique and Reno, honestly, the first time they came in, I didn't think they had like serious
chemistry.
issues. Really? Shanique
I was just like, it's a good looking couple,
it's a good looking couple.
but I didn't necessarily feel the love.
Oh, you don't
The
feel
guy
it?
seemed soft, the girl seemed kind of nice, but that was that. I didn't feel anything there.
Okay, the only thing I did with regards to their problems, I feel like those are not like, you know, they're not big issues. They're kind of no-brainers. Those are things you can easily work on. So
I think, I think we'll cover that later, because now just the personalities.
the
you know?
personalities, the individual
And
personalities.
maybe
Randall is definitely calm. He's
yeah,
definitely
Randall
calm.
is calm and soft, and he's
Cool-headed.
agreeable to some extent.
He's agreeable.
Possibly a people pleaser, because people who are very agreeable tend to be people pleasers, because they don't want to like cause conflict and all that. And then we have Shanique. Shanique is a strong character.
I feel like she's the exact opposite of Randall. The
Walai.
exact opposite.
So she's also very opinionated, just like April. They feel like they're always right, so she can never back down in an argument.
But I feel like she also imposes. I don't know. She just feels
True.
like I can't be wrong. What do you mean?
Manipulative, imposer.
I can't be wrong. We said, at least with April, you would reason with April.
True, and she would actually backtrack and be like, okay,
oh, I did this.
so I do have this issue, but this is something I can work on.
Shanique is like, I'm perfect. What are you talking about? And
Yeah,
she doesn't
like-
want to listen to
And
you.
then if she's not getting her way, she'd be rude. She'd now
Yeah.
become rude, maybe walk
Oh my
away, or
God.
like just say mean stuff. And
Rude in
that's
the worst way possible.
that's really
honestly.
ugly. It's really ugly.
I think it's a very annoying. I think her character is something I wouldn't withstand if I
Me
was
too.
in a relationship
I
with
think
someone
usually,
like that.
at first I was like, this girl seems sweet, especially the speech she gave when they were choosing people.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, Zay would be a nice father, and she like she didn't want to make anyone feel bad. But then we see this character, I'm like, wait, so this is her? Pretty girl, but nasty character. No shade.
Shanique.
So where do we go from there?
We've
No,
talked about
Zay and Ray. God.
There's just nothing there, to be honest.
I think of Zay as, I wouldn't say a big baby, but he struggles. He's like
You know,
big and built and tall, but he struggles with stuff like communication. You know,
basic. And no, it's not like communication on a deeper level, like even basic communication.
I didn't want to say basic because that would sound mean, but
Really,
yes,
basic,
yes.
like basic communication. Literally, I feel like he had a really big problem with that. Yeah, he can't quite
so sad. Honestly, I
coherently.
feel so bad for him.
I feel like he could not be
Communication is
coherent.
everything. Oh my god.
And then I feel
I'm
like
so sad.
maybe that's why he dated Ray, because Ray was not a communicator at all. So
True. That's why.
they just complimented each other.
No, like people who get together for like not the wrong
True,
reasons, but
uh-huh.
because they balance out each other in a bad
Yeah.
way, in a way that's not healthy.
Honestly, Zay would not survive with someone who's like a constant communicator. He would
Yeah.
not. He would not. So I
Yeah.
think okay, now that was eventually the problem that brought them there.
True.
But it wasn't on Ray's part.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
Zay,
generally,
on Ray's
Zay seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, he seems like this genuine person, and we actually shouldn't really go there. We actually see him grow. We see them all grow, but I think we'll cover that at the end. We see him trying to be a better communicator, and you know, he keeps saying that he's had childhood issues. He never had parents. He was raised in a very not so loving way, and maybe that's why he has problems with expressing himself and communicating and all that. So you do get to see that side and the reason as to why he's like this. So I think most of the time I just feel bad for him, especially when he'd be around people who know that he has this issue and they take advantage of that. Yeah.
Which
Ray?
couple? Ray. I mean, Ray. Honestly, she's like, I wouldn't call her an open book.
Ray is difficult to tell.
Exactly.
She's really difficult because at first
She's
she's not
blank.
expressive,
She's just blunt.
and then suddenly you're like she seems kind of nice, and then again she seems a bit mean or like I don't know.
Is it this way? I don't.
I
feel like people's opinions really matter to her.
True.
Yeah.
True.
People's opinions really matter to Ray.
Because she ended up, I feel like the reason as to we're going too far, Raquel.
Yeah.
So what happens?
Okay, what happens?
I think we can talk
with
about
the
the
couple?
trial marriages, what they chose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Colby chose April, but it wasn't really an ideal pair because I feel like they didn't
The
have
people
anyone.
they chose ended
Yeah.
up getting engaged.
Yeah.
The least expected couples, the ones that showed no
Those
love.
are toxic. No, that's
Yeah, that blonde girl
I-
she kept talking later, and I was like, girl, you're not even in the show.
yeah.
And the only reason as to why you cried and your guy proposed is because you had no options. Unfortunately, she's the one Colby called an attractive. She's a pretty lady. But
She is a pretty lady.
she's very, I think I'd say she's also opinionated because she kept giving opinions later on that had nothing to do with her, considering
Yeah.
she wasn't in the show.
I just think Colby is not like a good person.
If you'd ever do that to me, I would be out of here. And those are people talking about their situation. Like, you have no right. My
Yeah.
God.
Honestly, I feel like Colby would have really made a nice match with Lauren if she had stayed.
Really.
Yeah.
I think Lauren was, honestly, she feels like the kind, how gay. I don't like I don't like people whom you can't read. People whom you don't
Because
even know.
You see,
Like, she doesn't even seem like someone who knows what she wants.
the problem, let me tell you, with Lauren,
She was there with some daft guy. I remember the
Nate.
guy talking to her like very coldly, showing no emotion. And then you see her. She's the same person who later on says, absolutely yes. And I'm like, babe.
are you
Babe.
serious?
How that happened?
Because I feel like with all the couples together, they had the worst problem.
Least chemistry.
You know, not like literally, it's one thing to have a problem on communication. That's just a misunderstanding. But having something as big as I want kids, I don't want kids, that is a totally different thing. That is not something you
Because
can
that's
work
long
on.
term.
That is not something you can talk about.
I think it's
and get
even worse
over.
than marriage.
It's worse. So I was like, how are you proposing to this girl and she's saying yes already? And literally, she doesn't want kids and you want kids. How is that going to?
Like, from the beginning, I felt like there was no love there, so it literally
Yeah.
blown my
But I did like Lawrence.
And I
character
felt
was-
like Colby just because of the fact that he seemed like a hypocrite to me just from the beginning, and I kind of got Nate's concern when he said, "I don't trust this guy, so I don't know what his intent really is with my girl." I felt like Colby just maybe he also ran out of choices, or like felt that was the most workable choice for him.
April or Lauren?
Colby.
Colby, like with Lauren.
With Lauren.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know, because he had already been into this one. He was not clicking with the rest, and he's just a hypocrite because he kept saying stuff like, oh, I feel like you're the person whom I can see maybe a future with, someone. And this is the same guy who gave his girl an ultimatum because he wants married and he wants kids. Then he wants to go date someone who doesn't even want kids. Bro,
Yeah.
Kobe, hypocrite.
But
But you do see him grow.
he does
So
grow.
that combination just seemed like a sham to me.
Yeah.
Like, nah. Mm-mm.
Madeleine was paired with Randall.
That was a genuine.
That was
nice,
a
genuine.
but I feel
pair.
for Madeleine, I feel like it was physical attraction.
Oh yeah,
First,
mostly yeah.
Physical attraction. Randall, I think probably he
But
was
at
he
first,
liked the fact that
before you can actually tell that she loves her guy, you'd think that there was a connection, cause she didn't seem like she loved Colby at all.
they literally it's like she and Colby had been in a talking stage for 2 years. Because I'm like, why is she treating this guy like this?
Like let's
like she came there
Colby has a
and
lot
you
of.
think,
I wouldn't be able to stand that.
would you stand a Colby? I personally would
No,
not.
I'm saying I wouldn't stand being treated the way Madeline was treating Colby.
And that's the thing,
Being so
comfortability.
condescending.
Because I knew Madeline also knew, like, he loves me, where is he going?
Yeah. Like what can he do without me?
He got
He's loser. That's how it felt 90% of the time. So.
And
But yeah, that was a genuine pair.
that was a good pair.
You can actually like see them
Mhm.
gaining from each other. The guy, honestly, I think he's able to now see what he's been missing in his relationship. For instance, a great listener, a good communicator, someone whom he's able to converse with. And Madeline on the other end, I don't know at this point. After
I feel
I
like
watched till the end,
Uh-huh.
I think I agree with Raquel. I think it was just
It
physical
was
attraction
physical
for her.
attraction, honestly.
And maybe like experiencing different from her guy,
Uh-huh.
because as she keeps saying her guy lives in this fairy tale, he's not in the real world. So maybe she gets that from Randall, you know. And I feel like she needed that to appreciate a guy more, you know. And then what other pair? Jake and Ray pair are.
Jake and Ray. That one was also kind of like sparks flying. It was
Hey,
love at first sight.
what? High school crush.
Yeah, I think it was very high schooly to me. I don't know, like
You find
boom,
yourself with this
love.
person who's so similar to you,
and you're like
so you're just over the moon about this person. Like you want to be around this person. You want to be talking to them. You want to know them better. Because just from the conversation, I honestly did not see that coming. Because that guy seemed like he really loved his girl. So I thought at first he was just being nice to this lady,
but
because I saw no attraction. Because there are some people who are like, when this guy walked in, I was attracted to him because he looked good, like Madeline.
yeah.
But then her guy never said that. Jake never said that. But you see him talking with this girl. They come to learn that they both have Italian moms. Their dads, I don't know. They have so many similarities. So it's like, this girl is like a female version of me, and I'm like a male version of her, and it's all cute,
Yeah, but cute does not run a relationship.
I know, like
So,
I didn't like the fact that he 360'd on his girl
Jake is
just after talking to this other lady for one day. That's messed up. It's like, and that's why sometimes you see, but that only happened to him. Guys are like children, they're like babies. They get swayed so easily because it's like he's been used to this old key holder to the extent where he sees this new shiny thing and he's like,
I mean, the old key holder
in
will be
awe.
in the wardrobe. It'll just be in the cupboard.
Yeah.
But I can play with this one for a while. Yeah. Which other pairing we have?
Zay and
Shanique and
Shanique.
Zay. I didn't see the attraction thing they were talking
True.
about, to be honest. It wasn't
At all.
authentic ever.
I feel like they just selected each other. Actually, the girl was like she had a problem selecting a partner for trial marriage because she had 2 options and she didn't want to hurt anyone. But I felt like she was most comfortable choosing Zay because they're both black. They're both kind of similar. She said from the conversation they're both flirtatious and all that, and yeah, he's cute, she's cute, so I guess. But there wasn't really anything that chemistry wise or like connection wise. And considering the girl is the one who gave an ultimatum and the guy was given an ultimatum, that's the other thing about the show. People had to end up with people who both give ultimatums, like April and Kobe, and ones who didn't, and ones who, I don't know. So, that didn't make sense. But yeah.
So.
But they did, supposedly they helped each other though.
For 3
Shanique
weeks.
helps Zay. I don't know.
So.
They do the trial marriage for 3 weeks, and then after that, they head back to the partners. So. From the trial marriage, you could see that Jay clearly clicked with Ray. Shanique and Zay, I don't know. I think they were both still in love with their partners, so there was nothing there. April and Colby too, because they did not choose each other out of choice. Madeline and Randall, you do see that they kind of click. But
Madeline and Randall?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
So now back to them living with their partners and all that.
Jake came back. Okay, so Jake and April, they came back, and their 3 week stay was just constant bickering and arguing. Jake and April, when they went back together, it was constant arguing.
It was Jake going in on her, Jake being mean, Jake being condescending, and Jake he just seemed like
he wasn't different.
He was being cold and stuff,
And I think he's a gaslighter.
But then you see him later on trying to like be soft and saying,
he was working on things with her.
Exactly, like we shouldn't be doing this, that was ugly, all that. So that's on April and Jake, and then you have Ray and Zay. What happens there?
Ray and Zay, they went
back. I think Ray was
same situation.
Head over heels for
Jake.
So she wasn't trying to mess with a guy like that. She just wanted I felt like she kept trying to look for ways to just end it, but at the same time she was finding it hard. But then she gets this opportunity when after being lacking, like not expressing herself as he usually would, her guy decides, he needs some space. He goes out, goes back home the next morning. So she uses this as the excuse and breaks up with him. So that's when we come in. That's where she now meets up with Jake and tells him, I break up with my guy, And I think that's when, Jake now starts considering. He's like, so he actually tells her, I'm trying to work things with April. I want to give her another chance. But I think deep down he's like, what if I try it out with this?
Yeah, I think he was feeling experimental. I don't know.
Yeah, true. Because I think it's been in this relationship, kind of controlling relationship for quite a while. So when he finally got the outlet, he kind of wanted to run an experience. Or just he felt like young and free again, Yeah. And then who else? Oh, Shanique and Randall. Well, at first you see them butting heads a lot, but later on you can see them. They're both saying, they've grown. They're now trying to like communicate better. This one is trying to improve on areas. This one has sold the other, and vice versa. So
I feel like the only thing I liked about the whole situation with Randall and Shanique is that Randall kind of stopped being a suck up in the relationship to constantly just do whatever Shanique wants. I love that he was finally speaking up for himself. And Shanique was just a whole lot of issues, to be honest, as well.
I think at the end you're like, they're behind the scenes that we didn't see.
Yeah, but then I'm also like, how come these couples, when they, like literally all of them, when they went back to each other, all of them were fighting. It really doesn't make sense.
Madeline and
Madeline and Goldie were sweet at first.
Were they?
The first day or the first 2 days, they were like, they were sweet and they were cuddling and
Madeline and Goldie.
Then, they were. Then Madeline told her she was considering things with Randall. That's when things started. The phone issue of him flirting with someone.
But those should have been so mean and condescending towards him.
I mean, what did she expect?
And then when they go back together in the 3 weeks, she's so nice and she's really trying with this guy. And I'm like, wait, I thought she actually liked Randall or something, or she just didn't like Kobe. So.
Yeah. So she and Colby, oh my god, theirs was unexpected. Okay, if of all the couples,
you do see her trying a lot.
She really tried. I feel like this whole facade of her not caring, I think it was
dropped. A facade.
It just dropped, honestly, because at some point I was like, who is this new Madeline? Because
I know, right?
She cares for Colby. I'm like,
Where
I
was
feel
this
like
the
probably
entire
she was
season?
just bored and maybe came back to familiarity and she's like, would I really want to
Maybe
trade
she
this
learned to
up?
appreciate her guy.
Yeah, because Kobe genuinely is. I feel like he's this weirdly lovey guys, like lovey-dovey guys. Like he would, because the
He can
things he was
suffocate
doing, it's suffocating. Because apparently when
And to some
Madeline
extent,
found,
you're like, this is too good to be true. What's up with this guy? This is weird. I'm treating you
Mm.
like.
and you're
Because I
still
think
here
she
with me.
she was actually treating him like that because she wanted a reaction from him. She like wanted the guy to at least be real with her and be like, no, this is not okay. But the guy was taking in all that and still being like, I still love you. That can be too much.
It can be too much. I mean, show some anger.
Yeah,
Shtuami
be
kidogo.
human. You know.
Yeah.
Who else?
Who else we
I think we've talked
have?
about all of them. Because the rest got engaged and left the show. So the ultimatum.
Yeah, the
The
ultimatum.
actual ultimatum.
It's obvious.
It wasn't
Shanique-
honestly for me. I was super shocked and partly disappointed because I expected for Shanique to be left, and that's why I say maybe there were behind the scenes that I didn't see.
Yeah.
Because I felt like she was treating this guy in a very bad way, like not listening and then being rude and all that. But then the guy ends up proposing to her. Who else?
April and Jake. Honestly, at first I did think I was actually sure that Jake was going to leave April.
Then
Then
to stay with his chick because he had
Yeah.
been claiming that they were working things. So that was a whole huge twist when he actually ended up leaving her and then proposing to like try things with Ray. That was messed up.
that was so messed up. I feel like with them, probably they just decided, let's break up with our people. Honestly, let's just break up. Because Ray's was too rush. I was like, wow, she really wanted to get this over
love
and done
butterflies
with.
and all that, but it's like the entire show just for that alone does not seem realistic.
It's
They
not
keep saying an
realistic.
accelerated process, but realistically it doesn't make sense. You can't fall in love with someone for 3 weeks. In 3 weeks rather. You can't form a real connection with someone in 3 weeks after being in a long-term relationship with someone else.
Like-
They'd have given them at least 3 months, you know.
Right.
You get to see someone's ugly colors. In the first phase, people can actually pretend it's honeymoon phase. Everything is rainbow and sunshine. So that wasn't realistic. But I think for both of them, they are there. So you think, and everybody kept telling them, you're meant for each other. You guys should be together, you know. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's what really influenced Ray. So yeah.
I mean,
Well,
yeah. Who else?
I think just those ones.
I mean, Madeline and Colby, that one was also not
Another
expected. Colby ended up proposing to Madeline and she was like, yes, a million times.
yes, they cried and all that.
And they got married and I was like, what?
Whoa.
They had, I feel like they were the couple who were sure bets they were going to break up.
I
Like,
know.
it was so, their problems were kind of big as well. Because towards the end, everything was just falling apart. I didn't even understand how Madeline still ended up
True.
picking him.
And also, I keep
think
saying that behind the scenes because there's a time.
'Cause-
I think later on there's a time Kobe said he did go and apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he is so, like, literally, what happened between them, whatever we were showed, Madeline was so sure she's not getting engaged to this guy.
He was like, I'm done.
She was done.
I feel
And
stupid. I'm done. Then we do see in the reunion, and I think that's where a lot makes sense. I feel like that was very needed for us to actually see how do these people end up living, or like in what's the status of the relationship, 6-7 months after. That was really nice. So really appreciated that. And honestly, from the reunion you could tell like almost everyone grew
yeah, they grew so much.
a lot. And to me, like I said, I didn't expect for Shanique and Randall to get engaged. So they actually tell you in the reunion that they ended up breaking up. They stayed away from each other for like 6 months, and that helped them realize that I actually do love this person. This person does things for me that no one else has ever done for me, and their love grows. And they actually say they are working on things on that timeline, and they are trying to make it work. So that was so genuine to me. I feel like they had the most genuine growth.
I feel like that breakup was much needed, honestly. For them.
The rest kind of seems superficial, especially
But you see,
no
most of the
shade,
shit-
no shade. Like Colby and Madeline. That was too fast. I feel like they're the ones who would have actually benefited from a break.
Yeah.
Worked on themselves before like committing to each other and married and having
They
a
had
baby.
big problems, honestly.
Yeah, despite the fact that the guy, at least I think that was the best case scenario of an ultimatum, because the guy was the one who was like, marry me.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. But at the end of the day, despite the guy loving her, they still had stuff they needed to work on, So I felt like they may have rushed into it.
They rushed into
And
it
then
and put a baby on top.
April.
I loved her growth, honestly, with the blonde hair. She just looked like her life was just, everything is just falling into place. She was dating someone new. Clearly, she was over Jake. I love that for her, because honestly, I expected her to have like a really bad breakdown when Jake.
To me,
broke
I
up with
wouldn't.
her.
I would, because you see, we were not shown that part, and I don't think she felt the need to talk about it. Because who wants to say I wasn't over this ex of mine who left me for someone else? So to me, I felt like how even saying all that, I wouldn't say she's over Jake entirely, or like, but sometimes someone can treat you so bad to the extent where you're like, hey, your whole heart and soul is out of that. But to me, I don't know how true it is that she's happy and she's in a good relationship. I don't know, but I pray for her to be able to get to that point. Because I mean, she doesn't seem like a bad girl. But I was really happy to hear her like accept that her and Jake were possibly not meant to be. They were just not for each other, and the ultimatum actually helped her realize that, and be able to like find someone who's possibly ready for marriage, and someone who understands her better, because she has this really big character. I wouldn't say strong, or it's a bit overbearing. So for her, she does need someone who has a similar big character. So it wouldn't have worked between her and Jake, genuinely. And Jake seems like the saddest, honestly. He seems
well deserved.
Because it's so sad to see that after breaking up, they can't even talk to each other cordially. It's so sad that people who dated for 2 years are now going back and forth 6-7 months later. It's like they threw whatever they had to the bush. They are now able to be like ugly and mean towards each other. Like, that's really sad.
It's really sad. But
And that's why I have doubts that either of them are in a good place. Because when you're in a good place, both of them, Jake and April, because when you're in a good place, Raquel, you won't feel the need to like. But maybe a part of her wanted to express that she wasn't happy about how that guy went about everything,
I mean, yeah,
for the sake of closure. So I don't know.
It's true 100%. But then we need to remember we are all human beings. Me, okay, to be very honest, like, you always feel the need to tell someone you did X and Y wrong. You did X and Y wrong.
Telling someone that, yes.
Even if it is years down the line, the heart is still there. It doesn't ever change the fact that you did something wrong to me at some point in life. And me repeating it does not mean it still
gives
hurting
you closure.
me. Yeah, me repeating it doesn't mean it still hurts me. Maybe I'm just stating the obvious. And her talking about her new relationship, definitely, she wants Jake to know, like, I'm with someone new. But does it necessarily mean that she's like, oh, she's implying she still likes him? Yeah, because like, exactly, like, I feel like it's a healthy reaction to sometimes want to rub it into someone.
And after 2 years, maybe she'd have taken a longer break. Though 6 months is
6 months is a long time. What
maybe,
they say it's unarudi soko.
Honestly, like, I don't know. Because Raquel, it's not like she was perfect. They both had stuff they needed to work on. And I feel like you don't need to be jumping into relationships. Though she actually said she did. At first, she says, what did she say? Did she say she tried out dating? Yeah. But then after she stopped all that and she was like, she needs to focus on herself. Like they normally say, that's when the universe brings someone to you when you're not thinking about it. So the fact that if it did happen naturally, then I'm happy for her, I guess. And then who else? Sad Jake. We've already finished with him.
Ray messed up as always. I honestly didn't see much growth with her.
I feel like at this point Jake is damaged. So Ray ends up with a girl.
Oh my god, I've never been happy in my life. I was just like, this serves you right. How do you think
when Jake literally said we're still figuring things out, I was like, whoa. So so they're not together.
They're not together.
They
And
didn't
I
even go on
honestly-
the trip.
Those people, I feel like they broke up 2 days after.
Literally after the cameras were off.
They realized, oh my god, so you're not that perfect.
It's real.
It's
oh my
real.
god, what was I thinking?
I'm telling you, they're both really dumb. 2 years, Mariam. It was obvious
Imagine
that they would feel
throwing
like they've made a big
2
mistake.
years out the window like
For
that.
3 weeks.
This
honestly.
person doesn't know you like that. You're with someone who knows you. Ndani kwa ndani.
Mm.
They've accepted you for who you are. Because definitely Jake wasn't perfect either.
Mhm.
But then you meet someone after 3 weeks and you're ready to like discard what you had with. I kind of get now where April comes from, because that's disrespectful and demeaning.
It's
Like,
disrespectful.
nini nilikuwa nimekosa.
Mm.
It's hurtful.
Yeah.
But he nalimpeleka ocean, that was the essence of it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just love
Or what the guy would have done instead of walking away with Dre, angetoka hapo single.
it. Mm. He
Cause
shouldn't have told them immediately
because he
after.
literally told her he's tried his best, but he's still not ready to be engaged with her.
Mm.
So it's like this. The lady was now forced to like leave their solo because it was Mario move on.
Yeah, Mario, move on.
Yeah, so it would have been more respectful if he'd have left their solo
Mm.
than to go ahead and start seeing this lady he's just known for 3 weeks. But they both needed it because now at least April came to learn, this guy doesn't really deserve her.
Mhm.
And the guy also learned maybe this is not the girl for me. So growth on both ends, I guess. But I think he's how it ended for him was sad.
Yeah. I mean,
Who
I
else?
don't think it was sad
They-
because I honestly think he deserved it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Both of them did. But actually,
Nasema his ending was the saddest.
yeah, something Jake's and Ray's probably to me were the saddest, both of them. Because they're the ones who came out of
They
there.
did this to the people that are like, I'm out of here, I don't need you, I could do better. And then poof.
And their people seemed to be at a better place.
Yeah,
Even
they're
Zay.
really trying.
Zay
Effort
seemed
is
so
something.
mature.
My God, I feel like Zay had the most growth.
He
I don't
grew
know.
so much. Like
He was willing to change.
Yeah.
He became a better communicator. Like he was literally trying, and he was ready to propose to this girl. But just because of this guy he met 3 weeks ago, oh,
he decided. But
like
I really
it makes sense.
I feel like he
but
grew
I guess
so
we're just
much.
human at the end of the day.
So yeah, I mean,
So yeah, Zay also grows too. We do see that, and I love the fact that they had painted him in this picture of someone who's immature, someone who's about the girls because of his job,
mm,
social media, and all that. So he's one of the people expected to go back to go into some playboy phase. But he actually says he's alone. He's trying to figure things out. He's trying to know what Zay wants. It was so nice to hear. Oh my God, I really love hearing about everyone's growth because they all seem like they grew. But I feel like the people who grew the most is Zay.
Zay.
And possibly
Shanique
and Randall.
they
I wanted
grew.
to say those ones at first, but I was like, wait, but yes,
Shanique and Randall.
those 3 people,
They grew.
imagine they're all black. How do you
Yeah.
exist?
And the
But
bottom
they
two.
really grew. Wow.
Bottom two.
Like it felt so genuine. I feel like for the rest, it mostly seemed like they were trying to make people think, they're okay or like they're in a better place. It didn't seem genuine.
You don't want people to see you're struggling.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I love the fact that you could see in April's face when Shanique said when she broke up with her man, she went through the hardest time of her life, and you could see April like, at least someone is saying this.
Yeah.
And I could, when they were actually talking about the fact that they went back and decided they needed that stuff they needed to work on, they're working on their own timeline. You could see on Madeline's face, and I think Colby's, that they're like, hey, could we have considered that as an option? They had the most growth. My God. Hey, who else?
Honestly,
Is
don't
there
think
anyone
about-
else you've loved?
Honestly,
The rest
everyone-
are kind of I wouldn't irrelevant, maybe a mean, but technically they're relevant because they weren't really part of
They
the
weren't
show.
in the show, so we don't really know them as people,
Yeah.
as individuals. We can't know them outside of the show.
Hey, Zay and Ray. So supposedly they go to the trip, and then Zay actually ends up telling people that they started seeing each other in his show. I feel so bad for Jake. My God, hey, not bad because I pity his situation, not because I'm empathetic to him. No, he kind of deserved that. Did he though? We're being mean. It's
Who
just
was
human.
Jake?
Yeah.
Really? No. I mean, he was rushed with his decisions. Honestly.
True.
They
He
had a
was
chance to
rash,
think.
but not that he did it out of malice. I don't
No,
know.
I feel like honestly he was just feeling, as I said, he was feeling experimental, and he had so many chances to choose April because
I feel like the worst one could have been Reiko's Venyalifanya.
Yeah.
What she did to like Zay,
She
despite
ended up crying,
all the
so.
effort she put in, but she did apologize, so that's a good thing. She said that when she was watching the show, I love the fact that they were all recognizing and acknowledging the fact that when they would look at the show, they'd be shocked. Shanique and Randall, oh God.
They grew so much.
They grew so much. They literally said, So a part of me is like, if Shanique actually sat down and watched the show and she was like, my God, there's an actual problem. There's an actual problem with me, and this is wrong. I need to work on this. That is growth. That is a really good thing. And who else said that too? Ray said that too about how she was being very
dismissive.
Exactly. So that was, I think, if that's true, that's really good. And she
honestly,
did apologize.
Randall and Shanique, I feel like they're honestly soulmates at this point because they broke up and still went back to each other. So
that's not a guarantee, but
I know
the fact that there's growth.
I feel like they accepted that this is my person. I went out, saw other things. No, not what I want. I still want this person. I feel like they've
partly a major part of me just felt like possibly Randall was just scared of getting out of his comfort zone. That proposal did not seem real to me unless there are parts that I did not watch. So it actually made so much sense to me that after leaving the show, they say things got real and they actually ended up breaking up and they're no longer engaged. So I don't think they're ready for that proposal, and but I am glad that they're working on things. So if they're able to get through that, then yes, they need to stay. But they're not. They haven't gotten engaged, and it's not an assurance that they'll be together for the rest of their life. Who knows? Maybe they could try working it out, but he katai, and that's okay. But I just love the fact maybe they're helping each other grow for their people, the people they're meant to be with, and that's okay too. But you can see so much growth in this point. The fact that they're putting in effort, so that's that is love.
It's love.
Putting effort in growing together, that is love. Yeah. And is there anything else? But yes, in general, we felt like the timeline on the entire show was a bit unrealistic. 3 weeks is too short. That you have given them possibly 3 months or whatever, but they keep saying it's an accelerated process. So I don't know. Secondly, I think the fact that it helped all of them grow was a good thing. And then the fact that it's an ultimatum, and at the end of the day you actually get to know, is this person serious about me? Does this actually love me? Am I going somewhere with this person? I love that fact. I think that was the best part for me, the growth, and then being able to see this is not for me, this person is not for me, this person is for me.
I honestly think the entire experience was very unrealistic. Those are people in our age group. Honestly, the last thing I will be thinking about when I'm 24 is they in our age group. 23, 24, those are people in our age group. Marriage is literally the last thing you'd be thinking about, let alone children.
But you see, Raquel, these people live in an entirely different society.
I mean, I get it.
By 23, they are accomplished, they have their money, they have their own businesses. It's not like us in Africa. You'd find someone is finishing school at 25, 24. Amejijenga, so it's like, what next?
But it's not exactly accurate.
What next?
It's not exactly. I feel like the percentages of people abroad
what's
who get
the show
married,
about?
Listen, like people from abroad who probably get married or engaged at very later times. In Africa, it's very common for people to do it at 21, 22. We're living in a different century.
Raquel, I have seen couples even on YouTube get married at 18 and 19.
Or
20 and 21. That happens. We need to be able to accept the fact that this is something that actually happens. And you see, the show is about those kind of people, so why would you expect otherwise?
I say yes, it happens, but I mean, would you honestly say that you're mature
personally
enough?
No, but exactly. That's them, Raquel. So we can't. It's like disregarding their experiences.
Okay, not disregarding their experience.
So maybe we shouldn't say it's unrealistic, but rather it's a bit
A bit what?
Shocking.
I
I don't
Are you
know.
really ready for that kind of responsibility? Genuinely.
It matters. Everybody's different.
I mean, exactly.
People get married when they're younger and it works.
I mean, I feel like yes, you can get married at 19 and at 20, but come on, regardless of
Sasa
how
kama watu
modern of a
wanaweza get married at 19
society.
and 20. Sasa 23
Ay,
like
nah, it's just too young. I feel
honestly,
like
I feel like at this point of my life, I am so self-aware, but I'm still not ready.
yeah, exactly. Thank
But
you.
people are different. That's
Mariam,
what we need to accept.
I mean, it's true, but that's the thing. No one is ever, you're not the same person as you were when you were 8.
But then I'm 20.
You're not
so
the-
she's in the 8. I'm not.
Honestly.
What if they're okay with that? What if they're
It doesn't-
financially stable?
Okay.
What if they're emotionally there? Everybody's journey and experience is different.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's way of thinking and readiness is different, you know? And we need to be accepting of that. We're all different.
I mean, okay.
Me and you wouldn't, I mean.
I
but
wouldn't.
it-
And a
it's-
majority of
and
people wouldn't.
the show is
Uh-huh.
literally about people who would. So why would you expect people who don't want marriage there? But there are people who didn't want marriage. There are guys who were given an ultimatum, and Madeline was given.
Let's just come to the consensus that what are we talking about?
It's an accelerated process. It's
Yeah.
not realistic
It's not
for all this
realistic.
to happen in 3 weeks. But yes, it's a good show. I would recommend anyone to watch it. I loved seeing the growth, and I did enjoy watching it. And I think at the end, while it was ending, I felt it was kind of bittersweet because I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's like you've grown with these people, and you want to keep knowing what's gonna happen next. Are they gonna grow more? What's gonna happen to this one? It was a bit, you know.
I feel like
Like,
most of
you're
them
letting
they
go.
kind of got a happy ending, apart
Yeah.
from Jakey, which was not exactly. A bad
Yeah, I
ending,
think they
but
all grew. Jake had a
I feel like
poor ending.
he didn't really grow. Like, okay, I wouldn't know if he grew because he was quiet for a lot of the time.
He
And the
just
time
seemed,
he was,
he just seemed like he was thinking a lot, was sad or mad.
and the time he talked, I think they were bickering with
Arguing,
April.
yeah.
So you can't
that's
really
really
tell.
sad.
But you know, the universe works in mysterious ways, and karma, well.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, that was not. Yeah, but I love the show. I honestly loved it,
Me too.
and yeah, we are going. to
Maybe it's
keep
on
going.
season 2, just increase the timeline.
Yeah, 3 weeks is not.
But yeah, we
realistic.
out.
we out.
We out.
Tell
Hope you
us
enjoyed the video.
which movies or series
Yeah.
you'd like us to review.
Next, and also comment on what your thoughts were on these personalities.
Yeah.
If you do agree with us, if you don't agree with us, what do you think would have been better pair ups, or like whom did you think would have been better suited to end up together? Leave that in the comment section below. We do respond.
We respond, guys.
Tell your friends, tell your friends.
Bye. Know what to do.